It's the talk of the Formula One town, and unless you've been living under a rock for the past few weeks, you'll know that Red Bull, of course, have been found guilty of breaching the 2021 cost cap regulations by the FIA and are currently in talks to determine their punishment. Well, we might have an idea of what that punishment might be. Now, I must say that this is just classic Formula One grid rumours, and we know that sometimes they can be spot on, but they can also be misleading, and nothing has been officially stated by the FIA. But after Christian Horner was spotted with the president of the FIA on several occasions in COTA building up to the Austin Grand Prix weekend, there are rumours that the FIA may have offered an ABA or accepted breach agreement to Red Bull, with the terms of their punishment being a 25% reduction in wind tunnel time for the 2023 season. Now, rival teams have, of course, been calling for a significant penalty to the Austrian outfit in response to their overspend in 2021, Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton, of course, being the highest profile. Hamilton even arguing that it's about the integrity of the sport and sticking to the core values of what the sport is. But this penalty could be incredibly detrimental to Red Bull, not only in the 2023 season, but for many seasons to come. So what would a 25% wind tunnel reduction actually mean? Each year, the Formula One teams are allowed a set number of runs in which they're allowed to put their car into a wind tunnel. The number of wind tunnel tests each team is allotted is 320, but the number of runs can actually change depending on where you rank in the Constructors' Championship, with the winners of the Constructors' Championship actually giving up a few of their wind tunnel tests and the losers of the Constructors' Championship actually gaining those tests back from the higher up teams. This means that if Red Bull do manage to keep hold of first place in this year's Constructors' Championship, which, let's face it, is looking pretty much guaranteed, that will mean that they already have a 30% reduction in their wind tunnel runs, putting them on 224 runs of a possible 320. This is where the 25% reduction can actually be interpreted in two different ways. The first of which is that they have a 25% reduction on the time that they've already been allocated, so it would compound with the 30% that they already have, taking them down to a total of 168 runs for 2023. Or the second way that it could be interpreted is that it's added to the 30% they're already taking them to a flat 55% reduction in their wind tunnel tests, leaving them with only 144 runs. Either one of these punishments could be incredibly rough. Ferrari, who currently sits second in the constructors' standings, could have nearly 100 more wind tunnel tests, as they are allotted 240 runs for the 2023 campaign. And considering the margins between those two teams over the course of the season has been very, very thin, had Ferrari not made mistakes and Verstappen not been completely untouchable at points, we would be looking at a much closer championship, which gives Ferrari a huge boost going into 2023 if they do indeed end up with nearly 100 more wind tunnel tests. Even Mercedes, who have had resurgent races in 2022, especially since the summer break, would have 256 runs in the wind tunnel to finally try and make that zero pod setup come to life in the way that they believe it can. Which again, is a huge boost to them, considering they've already been making progress and gaining time on the Red Bulls and Ferraris in front of them over the course of the season so far. So if the rumours are to be believed that Red Bull were offered a 25% reduction in their wind tunnel time as part of their settlement, this is an absolutely massive penalty for the team that are about to wrap up their first Constructors' Championship since 2013. Which is why I can actually see some merit in it being true. The penalty would serve as a reasonable deterrent to other teams that may break the cost cap regulations in the future, whilst also allowing the FIA to somewhat contain the controversy of what happened in the 2021 season. Of course, this is still speculative. Red Bull are expected to issue a response in the coming days, but with the lack of transparency regarding how this overspending will actually be penalised, it means that several possibilities are still being considered. The team could rebuttal and instead get a reduced cost cap in the future, or suspension from a free practice session in 2023. Ultimately, we just have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments down below if you think this is a reasonable penalty for Red Bull. Whilst you're down there, leave a like on the video, of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you next time.